Right, today we're going to do a traditional, meaning step by step, as it's done in Mysore, intermediate series. A lot of these postures are really challenging. Adna's going to do as well as she can. I'm going to assist her. We're in Sarajevo at Adna's studio, Ananda Yoga. So, should we start? I think that's all we need to say. Let's see how we do. Vande Gurunam Charanaravindeya Sandarashita Swahatma Sukhavabodhe Nishteyase Jangalike Amane Samsara Hala Hala Moha Shandye Abahu Purushakanam Shankachakra Siddharanam Sahasra Shirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Samasthiti. Do 3 salutation A and 3B. Ekam inhale. 2 exhale. Trini head up, inhale. Chatwari step or jump, exhale. Pancha inhale. Shat, exhale. And in all of this, feel free to adapt, to modify, to take your time, to stop the video and add extra things in. This is just a basic framework as it's done in Mysore, as I say. And as it's done in Mysore, particularly from Sharat's time. So in Pattabhi Joyce's time, there may have been variations as well. Things have changed over the years in Ashtanga Yoga. Sapta, step or jump, inhale. Ashto, exhale. Nava, inhale. Samasthiti. Second one, Ekam inhale. 2 exhale. Trini inhale. Chatwari exhale. Pancha inhale. Shat exhale. Sapta inhale. Ashto exhale. Nava inhale, hands up. Samasthiti. Last one of A. Ekam inhale. 2 exhale. Trini inhale. Chatwari exhale. Pancha inhale. Shat exhale. Stay there breathing. And trying to feel on the exhale, the stomach pulling gently towards the spine. There's a movement particularly felt at the shoulder blades. Pancha inhale, Sapta inhale. Shat, exhale. Inhale, hands up. Look up to your thumbs. And Samasthiti. Surya Namaskara B. Bend the legs, raise the hands, inhale. 2 exhale. Trini inhale. Chatwari exhale. Pancha inhale. Shat, exhale. Exhaling, step the right leg. Inhaling, push through the back foot. Look to your thumbs. Exhale, Ashto. Nava inhale. Desha exhale. Ekadasha left side. Try to keep the hands where you can see the thumbs. Davadasha, exhale. Chiyadasha, inhale. And Chatadasha, exhale. And stay there breathing. Try and direct the breath over the back of the throat to around the middle of your back. Panchadasha, inhale. Step or jump. Shodhasha, exhale. Saptadasha, bend the legs. Look up to your thumbs. Samasthiti. Second one, Ekam inhale. Dve exhale. Trini inhale. Chatwari exhale. Pancha inhale. Shat exhale. Right leg sapta. Try and keep the hips level towards the front of your mat. Ashto exhale. Nava inhale. Desha exhale. Ekadasha left side. Devadasha exhale. Chiyadasha inhale. And Chatadasha exhale. So on the exhale breath, see if you can feel a lengthening through the top of your head as you draw the tailbone down through your legs. It's like you're stretching in both directions. Panchadasha inhale. Shodasha exhale. Saptadasha inhale. Samastiti. Last one be Yekam inhale. Dve exhale. Trini inhale. Chatwari exhale. Pancha inhale. Shat exhale. Right leg step forward. Push off the back foot. Look up to your thumbs. Exhale Ashto. Nava inhale. Desha exhale. Ekadasha left side. Devadasha exhale. Chiyadasha inhale. And Chatadasha exhale. Breathing at least 5 times, although that's a general guideline, really. As I said earlier, originally it was 8 to 10 breaths. Things have changed, so you should also feel free to change things as you need. Panchadasha inhale. Shodasha exhale. Saptadasha, bend the legs, hands up. Samastitihi. Padangustasana, exhale, spread the feet, catch the toes. Yekam inhale. Dve exhale. So remember you're trying to pull up from that part of the back, upwards through your back there, against the push down in the toes. Because you're in a closed position, particularly on the exhale breath. Think connections, not contractions. You're just connecting into your body, but not tensing anything. Trini head up, exhale there. Padahastasana, hands under the feet, inhale, and exhale. Imagine you're coming over a gate or a bar, so a bit of space between the stomach and the thighs. And instead of bending the neck, see if you can pull the chin in and stretch to the top of your head. Trini, inhale, head up. Exhale there. Tuck the chin in so the head comes up last when you come up. Samastitihi. Utthita Trikonasana, inhale. Dve, exhale. So you're trying to turn in at the hip and out at the head. Balance the 2 turns. As you push down to your right toe, see if you can connect to your left fingertip across your back. When you finish, look at the foot again. And Trini, inhale, come up. And Chatwari, left side, exhale. Because you're in an open position, the inhale is particularly active, at which point you're trying to pull against the hand taking the foot with this hand on the inhale breath. And exhale is relax a bit. When you finish, 5 to 8 breaths, look at the foot, Pancha, come up. Parivrita Trikonasana, exhale. And what you're looking for is to keep the hips level. Once you've got the hips level, think straight forward with the spine. So you're trying not to twist to the right hand side here. Just straight out of the hips calms the head. When you finish, look to the floor and the hand. Inhale, come up. Chatwari, exhale. So as straight line as you can forward with the spine. On the inhale breath, see if you can stretch your neck out of your hips. Squeeze the heels apart to try and keep the hips level. When you finish, look to the foot and pancha, inhale, come up. Samasthiti. Utthita Pajvakonasana, inhale. Step to the right. Exhale. Look at the hand and foot when you take the hand down. See if you can roll through the thighs both internally and you're pushing back into the back foot as you reach into the hand. So there's a direction both ways, back into the foot, forward into the hand. Use your inhale breath again as particularly active. After a number of breaths, look at the foot and hand. Inhale, come up. Pause in the middle and Chatwari, exhale. Look at the hand and foot. Remember, if you're turning one way at the top at the neck, you're turning the other way at the bottom. So she's turning to look to the hand at the neck. So this right hip is turning inwards to counter the neck turning the other way. It's an open position, so inhale breath is more active than exhale breath. When you finish the number of breaths, look at the hand and foot again. Inhale, come up. Parivrita Pajvakonasana, the twisted or revolved side angle position. Make sure you get the whole arm outside the leg. So what you want to feel is you can push the arm against the leg and draw this right leg back. So if you find that difficult, what she's doing is coming off the heel here, which allows that the arm comes further round and can push against the leg. That's the most important thing. Don't worry about the back heel so much. That's the last detail. Inhale, come up. Trini. And Chatwari on the other side, exhale. So pushing the arm against the leg allows the left leg to draw back as the right leg pushes forward, so the hips are level and the twist is just happening between the shoulder blades. When you finish, look to the floor, exhale. Inhale, come up. Pause in the middle, Samasthiti. Prasarita Padattanasana, Yekam inhale. Dve, exhale. Again inhale. Trini, exhale. If you can't touch the head, you might consider putting the head on a block, because on the exhale breath, as you push down through the foot, you're trying to pull up through your back, almost like you're trying to pull your head off the floor as you exhale. The thighs are rolling externally, so the tailbone stays facing towards the floor. Try not to pull up on the hamstrings. Chatwari, head up. Exhale there. Pancha, inhale, come up. And exhale. B, Yekam inhale. Dve, exhale. Again inhale. Trini, exhale. If possible, the inside of the foot is parallel. If it's tight on the hamstrings, you could turn the feet in, but over time, see if you can work on keeping the inside of the foot parallel. That will allow the thighs to roll externally here. Chatwari, inhale, come up. And exhale. C version, Yekam inhale. Dve, exhale, behind the back. Inhale again. And Trini, exhale, come down. My recommendation here is just to focus on pulling your hands apart and pulling your chin in. So hands apart and chin in, instead of trying to get the hands to the floor. That will just overstretch the ligaments of the shoulders, in my view. Chatwari, inhale, come up. And exhale there. D version, hands on the hips, inhale. Dve, exhale. Catch the big toes. See if you can put your thumb on the mat here. Press your thumb down, look up, Trini. And exhale. I often think here, imagine everything is pulling into the centre of a wheel, and the centre of the wheel is just below the front ribs, the solar plexus area. Everything pulling into the centre on the exhale breath. Try not to pull the elbows down towards the ears. See if you can pull upwards away from the thumbs. Chatwari, inhale, look up, exhale there. Hold the waist, tuck the chin in, inhale, come up. Samasthiti. Pajvakonasana, last standing position. Yekam inhale. Dve, exhale. So the weight's over this foot, The hands pressed together as much as they can. And this is the last standing position of the standing postures. The rest of the standing postures, you know, they're part of the primary series. So we finish here if we're going directly into intermediate series. Inhale, come up. Chaturanga, exhale. If you're feeling tight, if you're feeling like you need more, why not do a little bit of primary series before you start intermediate series? Again, at the end of the day, this is your practice and your experiment, and what feels right and what is right will differ from day to day. Pancha, inhale to come up. Exhale, turn to face the middle. Inhale, step forward. And Samasthiti, release the hands. Pachasana. Ekam inhale. Dve, exhale. Trini, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Pancha, inhale. Shat, exhale. Pachasana for some reason starts on the left hand side, Sapta. Don't know why it starts on the left side first, but that's the traditional way it's done in Mysore, so we'll honour that. If you can't take the hands, use a belt, but you must hold something. The modification would be to use your prayer hands. See if you can lengthen through the top of the head as you lengthen down through the tailbone. So there's an up and down on the inhale breath. Forget the twisting, just think of up and down. On the inhale breath, Ashto, the hands are released and they go on the floor. That's the vinyasa. And exhale, Nava, you turn to the other side. Not an easy position. Another challenge might be that your heels are off the floor. If your heels are off the floor, perhaps use a small block, roll up the mat, or use a towel, but you need the heels pressing down on something. Yeah? Looking up, Parshva is the gaze, so the gaze takes you looking to the side and slightly upwards. But try to keep the chin in so you don't bend the neck up. Exhale. Desha, inhale. Ekadasha, exhale. Dvadasha, inhale. Triyadasha, exhale. Crown Chasana, Sapta. Heron posture. What you want to do here is push this leg inwards. That will allow you to push this leg slightly forward, and then you can pull your chin towards the leg and try to feel like a stretch down through the back, instead of pulling the leg towards you, which you'll just feel the hamstring. You want to push the leg away from you so you can pull down through your shoulder blades. When you finish, inhale, Nava, look up, and exhale there. Desha, across the legs, Ekadasha, jump back, exhale. Dvadasha, inhale. Triyadasha, exhale. Chaturdarsha, other side. And Panchadasha, Crown Chasana. Again, don't forget this big toe. That pushes off the big toe, the left knee in. That allows you to push the leg forward, and you can pull down through your shoulder blades on the inhale breath. So it's not just a hamstring stretch, it's the start of the back bend series. When you've finished, inhale, look up, Shodhasha, exhale there. Saptadasha, across the legs. Ashtadasha, jump back. Yukuna Vimshatahi, inhale. Vimshatahi, exhale. Shalabhasana, Sapta. Chaturanga, Pancha Shalabhasana. Looking down the nose, press the hands and pull the hands apart. Now try and internally rotate the thighs so you've got the toes together but the heels are slightly apart. Use your inhale breath to lift you. You go straight into B here. Shat is B, pulling with the hands, still looking down the nose, using the inhale breath. Roughly 5 breaths. Sapta, inhale straight into upward dog from that. Ashto, exhale. Bekasana, frog position. Chaturanga again. Pancha Bekasana. A really difficult posture. You could try one leg at a time. What you don't want to do is push the leg to the floor. You want the foot to push upwards so you can pull the shoulder downwards, but the foot pushes up. The chin's pulling in. Again, one leg at a time is a modification for this one. Hands to the floor. Shat, inhale. Exhale. Sapta. Dhanurasana. Jatwari again. Pancha Dhanurasana. The same principle with the neck. You're still looking down the nose. The gaze is nose gaze. As you pull back with the big toes, you're trying to pull the shoulders forward against that. Use your inhale particularly. It's a really good stretch for the thighs particularly here. A great warm-up for any more back bends you might do. Well done. Coming down, exhale. Sapta, inhale. Ashto, exhale. Pajva Dhanurasana, side bow. Jatwari again. Pancha, inhale. Shat, exhale to the right. So to the right side first. Look over your left shoulder, but try not to pull the head back. So you're turning the gaze, but keeping the chin slightly in. This hip's turning forward as the head's turning back. Stay there roughly 5 breaths and see if you can come up, keeping the tension of your bow. So still holding the bow, inhale, come up, and exhale to the other side. Inhale, coming up for the last 5 breaths, Nava. Stay there, look down the nose. Hands to the floor, exhale. Desha, inhale. Ekadasha, exhale. Ustrasana, Sapta. The camel position. Hold the waist first of all, and then on the exhale breath, Ashto, going back and see if you can hold your feet. The modification for this one is tuck the toes underneath so the heels are higher. What you're looking to do is try and push the hips upwards. The shoulder position stays as neutral as you can, so instead of putting them back, you try and roll the shoulder inwards so you're stretching your upper back rather than just putting your shoulders back. On Nava, inhale, come up, hold the waist and exhale there. Now join the knees together, place the hands down. Desha, inhale, lift up. Ekadasha, jump back. Dvadasha, inhale. Triadasha, exhale. Lagavajrasana, Sapta. Again, the hands go to the waist on the inhale breath. And then Ashto, exhale, Lagavajrasana. Pushing the knees apart or putting a belt around the knees really helps. First of all, put some cushions down perhaps so you're not so low. That makes it easier to come up from. Inhale, Nava, come up. And exhale, hands to the waist. Chin in. Desha, hands to the floor. Ekadasha, lift up. Dvadasha, exhale. Triadasha, inhale. Chitadasha, exhale. Kapotasana, everyone's favourite, including Adna. Do something here. Maybe you could use a wheel, maybe you could go down the wall, maybe you could even repeat Ustrasana or Lagavajrasana again if you're finding this a challenge. Keep going back, follow the hands, pushing forward the thighs, and see how far you can go that feels comfortable. It must feel comfortable for you. There's 2 versions to this, A and B. This is A version, and now taking the floor, push away, and this is B version. Both staying, if you can, roughly 5 breaths. Desha, inhale, come up, hold the waist and exhale there. Hands to the floor, Ekadasha, inhale, lift. Dvadasha, exhale. Triadasha, inhale. Chitadasha, exhale. Supta Vajrasana, Sapta. Struggling with lotus, cross the legs. The point of this position is to feel the back release, particularly the lower back, after your back bends, I think anyway. It's a direct counter posture for Kapotasana. So to that end, what you want to do is try and keep the neck free and mobile. When you're coming up and down, try to allow the neck to bend. Inhale, Exhale down for 5 breaths, stay there. Inhale, come up, and exhale, go down. 1, inhale, exhale, 2, 3, inhale, exhale, 4, inhale, exhale, inhale again, and 5. And then staying down for 5 breaths again on the 5th one. So 5 down, 5 up and down, and 5 down again for the 5th one. Inhale and exhale. You can try and jump out of this if you like, or cross the legs and take a jump back from there. Upward dog, inhale. Adna Mrguda, exhale. Crow posture, Bakasana A, Sapta. Start with the feet together, place the hands and see if you can put the knees on the back of the arms, keeping the arms as straight as you can. Try to do it with straight arms first of all. Staying there for roughly 5 breaths. Try and lift your big toes and lift your chin. And Nava, exhale. Jump out on the exhale breath. Desha, inhale. Ekadasha, exhale. Bakasana B posture. You may need a few attempts or make small jumps. Again, a really challenging posture. Just do what you can. Sapta Bakasana B. Very nice. Well done. Lifting the chin, lifting the toes. Very challenging. Again, take your time learning it. Small jumps is the best way. Desha, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. A nice relief. 2 twists. Very approachable. Bharadvajrasana, inhale. So the way to remember which leg goes first here is in this posture, Bharadvajrasana, and the next one, you're twisting to the right hand side first. They always confuse me. On all twists, inhale is height, and exhale, you're trying to turn the hips back to the front again. So not more into it, but actually out of the twist on the exhale breath. Try and push the whole hand on the floor, all the way up to the heel of the hand. And exhale, look forward. Nava, place the hands on the floor. If you can jump back from there, jump back from there. Tvadasha, inhale. Triyadasha, exhale. And Chatadasha, the other side. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, try and draw your front leg back, and that turns the body forward on the exhale breath. When you've finished, remember to look forward again before you release the hand. Now release the hand. Exhale. Inhale, hands to the floor. Saptadasha, Yashtadasha, jump back. Yakuna Vimshatahi, Vimshatahi, exhale. Ardha Matsendrasana, Sapta. This posture, if you struggle with Marichasana D, I would suggest maybe play around with Ardha Matsendrasana, a very approachable twist that's in many ways should be in the primary series instead of Marichasana D. The same thing, on the inhale is lift, on the exhale you're turning forward at the hips. The big toe of the bent up leg, keep trying to pull this big toe back into this hip. So it keeps you turning forward at the hips. When you finish again, look forward and exhale there. Cross the legs and take a jump back if you are jumping back. But remember, you can always just swap sides. Tvadasha, inhale. Triyadasha, exhale. And Chatadasha, the other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Try and keep the shoulders neutral so you're not pulling back the shoulders. Exhale, look forward. And now release the feet. Saptadasha, inhale. Ashtadasha, exhale. Yukuna Vimshatahi, inhale. Vimshatahi, exhale. Ekapada Shirshasana. See if you can jump the leg around the arm. Inhale. So, in Adna's case, and in many of our cases, a good warm-up is necessary here. Take your time, don't force the leg behind the head, and just do something here. There's many times for all of us when we have to do at least a placeholder or something that represents the posture, even if we can't or won't ever do the whole thing, and that's fine. Not all bodies will do all movements. Once you can hold this leg behind you without holding the hand, so once the neck holds the foot behind you, then only go forward. So there is a forward here today. I'm going to do with Adna for the purpose of the video, but I'm going to hold the foot. In terms of your own practice, I might recommend not going forward until you can hold that foot without holding it with your hands. Inhale, come up, and exhale. Jumping back from here, if you are, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. And the other side, Chaturdasha. So in terms of the counting, when you can go down without holding the foot, you go straight down on Panchadasha, just as you would in a forward fold. In this case, when learning it, I recommend you at least stand up for 5 breaths before going down. If you go down at all, again, I recommend you get the leg behind the head without holding it before you think of going down. But traditionally, just so you know, you go straight down from taking the foot behind the head, hands go into the prayer, and you go straight down from here. So we're going to go down today on Panchadasha. Shodasha, come up, hands go in the prayer, and exhale there. Saptadasha, cross the legs. Ashtadasha, jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Yukuna Vimshatahi. Vimshatahi, exhale. Very challenging posture, Dvipada Shirshasana. So Adna's going to do what she can. I'm going to try and assist. Again, the point of this video is to show not an average body, because Adna is not an average body, but the fact that we all have our limitations and our strong points, and this practice needs to be adapted accordingly to suit all of us. So in this case, and it doesn't mean just because you can't complete a posture that you need to stop at that posture either. In this case, Adna's going to do something here for Dvipada and then move on. Even though she can't hold it and can't fully complete it, we're going to do something which is actually very good. And then even if you couldn't do this much, and I wasn't expecting this much to be honest, simply do something as a placeholder and then move on to the next posture. It doesn't mean you need to stop. Hands go to the floor, and Nava, you lift up for 5 breaths. Yeah. So Ashto, 2 legs. Nava, a kind of B version where you're lifting up. And then exhale, the legs go back. Inhale, Dasha, exhale. Yikadasha, inhale. Davadasha, exhale. Well done. Shyadasha, inhale. Chaturdasha, exhale. Yoga Nidrasana. Sapta. In many ways, this should be before even one leg behind the head, because it's a much more approachable position when your back is in more flexion to put the leg behind the head. Ashto, Yoga Nidrasana. So if you're working on leg behind the head, I might say try it from the floor in this position before you even start that leg. On the inhale breath here, you're trying to pull the tailbone forward by pulling the feet apart. So the feet kind of pull you back by pulling apart as the tailbone pulls forward. Traditionally, there's a backwards roll out of this, Chakrasana. But I'm not really a fan of the backwards roll, so I'm just going to ask Adam to sit up, jump back from here. Yeah. That'll be on Nava, Desha, inhale. Yikadasha, exhale. Tittabhasana, Sapta. There's an A, B and C. A you've done in the primary series, B and C are a little bit trickier. Let's see how we do. Sapta. Tittabhasana A. Ashto, inhale. So reaching the toes, looking up between the eyebrows and staying there for, again, at least 5 breaths. After a number of breaths, Nava, exhale, feet go to the floor. You put the hands behind the back and see if you can do your best to clasp the hands together. If you can't clasp them, try and clasp a towel or something. Now see if you can walk forward a little bit. Inhale, exhale. 1, 2, inhale, exhale. 3, 1, 2, inhale, exhale. 4, 1, 2, inhale, exhale. 5. Same back, right foot first. 1, 2, inhale, exhale. 1, 2, yep, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, excellent. 5, 1, 2, excellent. The Ekadasha is C. Clasping the hands in front of the face. The feet go together. Ideally, the feet stay as parallel as you can. But when I first learned this, as Adna's doing now, one way to get around that, first of all, is just to turn the feet out and touch the heels. Yeah? But over time, see if you can keep the feet parallel. Well done. Tvadasha, hands to the floor, lift up. Exhale, legs back. Kshirdasha, inhale. And Chaturdasha, Chaturanga Dandasana. Panchadasha, inhale. Shodasha, exhale. Pincha Mayurasana, Sapta. Ashto, Pincha Mayurasana. So if learning this, obviously use the wall first of all to get your balance. See if you can keep as straight as you can, but also you've got the shape of your back will dictate the shape of the posture at the end of the day. I wouldn't recommend springing down from here, but traditionally you spring down into Chaturanga. I'm just going to say to Adna, just lower down slowly, protect your shoulders or save your shoulders, and then Desha is up dog, Ekadasha is down dog, and we're on to another really challenging posture, Karundavasana, Sapta. Come to the knees, Ashto is Pincha, and Nava is Karundavasana. To modify this, I would recommend you do headstand position, some kind of headstand, and try and get the lotus in headstand. But today with me here, Adna and I are going to do the full position from the Pincha hands. So working at lotus, and just recognizing that this position is really, really advanced position for anyone to do. Get as tight as lotus as you can, before lowering down. Now see if you can lower down, keeping the knees really close to the top of the arms, the armpits, and staying there for 5 breaths. Desha, inhale up. Exhale, Ekadasha. And Dvadasha, you come down, traditionally jumping into Chaturanga, but again I lowered her down. Kshirdasha, inhale. Chaturdasha, exhale. Sapta, inhale, jump forward. Exhale. Inhale, look up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Mayurasana, a really tricky vinyasa. Come inhale. Spread the feet, put the hands on the ground. Dve, exhale. The head goes through the arms. Trini, inhale, look up. Chitwari, exhale, step or jump back. Pancha is Mayurasana position. Try and keep as straight body as you can. Look up with the chin. Well done. Yeah. Elbows are quite low between the hip bones. And Shat, inhale. And Sapta, exhale. Downward dog, funny downward dog there. Ashto, inhale, look, come forward, jump forward, step forward. Nava, exhale, the head goes down once more. Inhale, look up uncounted, you look up, and then Samasthiti from there. Well done. Nakrasana, crocodile position. Come inhale. Dve, exhale. Trini, inhale. Chitwari, exhale. Panchanakrasana. Try 5 times forward, 5 times back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, downward dog, exhale. Step or jump to standing again. Fold forward again here. Inhale, look up, and come up without raising the hands. So you just come up to Samastitihi. Now it gets a little bit easier. Vatyanasana. Come inhale. Holding the foot behind the back with the hand, but then immediately Dve exhale, releasing both hands as you go down. Trini head up, Chatwari exhale. Pancha inhale. Shat exhale. Sapta Vatyanasana on the right side. So, as the right leg has been crossed into lotus, the right arm comes over the left and the hands are a little bit higher, so the elbows are roughly by the chin with the elbows. Hands are away from the body, Vatyanasana. Exhale, hands to the ground. Nava inhale. Desha exhale. Inhale. Triadasha exhale. Jatadasha. Swap sides, and swapping sides, straight away jumping forward into the other side. Panchadasha Vatyanasana on the left side. So the hands are a little bit away from the face, the elbows are at a roughly chin height, and on the inhale breath, you try to press the hands together and gently draw your front ribs in. It's difficult to bounce. You might use a block underneath the knee. That can help a lot if you find that bounce difficult. Exhale, hands to the floor. Saptadasha, up. Ashtadasha, exhale. Yukuna vimshatihi, vimshatihi. Yeka vimshatihi, jump forward. Dva vimshatihi, exhale, bind. Inhale, look up. Samastitihi. Parigasana. Come inhale. Dve exhale. Trini inhale. Chatwari exhale. Pancha inhale. Shat exhale. Sapta Parigasana. So you bend the right leg first. Turn to the left hand side. You're at 90 degrees between the leg, the straight leg, and the bent leg. Ashto Parigasana. The hands go on the hips, inhale, exhale, turning, catching the foot, and then once you've caught the foot, try to pull back against that. As you pull back against the foot, this thigh rolls forward. So you're trying to ground this hip down. Once you've taken at least 5 breaths, Nava inhale, come up, hold your waist, exhale. Desha hands to the floor, Yakadasha lift up. You can lift up out of that one again. Dvadasha inhale, Triadasha exhale, and Jatadasha jump through other side. As she's setting up here, if you have space in your house or in your studio, the bent up leg points straight forward if you can. So you're out at 90 degrees. Hands on the hips. Panchadasha, exhale, Parigasana. Again, this hip bone is trying to ground itself by this thigh rolling forward as you pull back from this leg. Turning to look upwards. Once you've taken a number of breaths, inhale, come up with the hands on the hips, Shodasha, exhale there. Saptadasha, jumping back. Yashtadasha, exhale. Yakuna vimshatihi, inhale, vimshatihi, exhale. Gomukhasana, cow posture. 2 versions, A and B. You can jump straight into the posture if you like, as Adna did. The hands go underneath the knee, the chin pulls in, you're looking down your nose, and that's Gomukhasana A. If you can, you're touching the 2 heels together. That's a particular Mysore detail. The 2 heels touch together, if it feels okay for you. B version. Nava inhale, you take the arms behind the back, so the right arm goes up, the left arm goes down. There's two ways to do this. The way I prefer is to put the arm behind the head so you can push the arm forward and pull the chin in. And at that point you feel a stretch of your back, not just a stretch in the shoulder. After a number of breaths, placing the hands on the floor, Desha inhale, Yukadasha exhale. Tvadasha inhale, Chiadasha exhale, and the other side. Looking down the nose, the hands are underneath the knee, so you can pull against that with your body. This is A version. As I said, if you can touch the heels, then touch the heels if it feels comfortable. B version, the hands go behind the back. This time the left arm is going up and the right arm is coming from down. Over time you might be able to get that arm behind the neck so you can push forward the arm and stretch the neck on the inhale breath. After a number of breaths here, placing the hands on the floor, see if you can jump out of this and back to Chaturanga, Chaturanga. Upward dog inhale and exhale. This penultimate posture of the primary series, Sapta Urdhva Pada Vajrasana, is a really difficult one. Sapta, inhale. Exhale, lie down. Ashta, inhale. Take the legs over the head. And on the exhale breath, see if you can get the lotus in. So you've met this before earlier in the series as Bharat Vajrasana, but this time the detail is trying to roll up. So, Nava inhale, rolling up. Desha exhale, take the leg back. Really good, yeah. If you can't hold the leg in the air, that's pretty understandable. The detail here is that the first posture that you did earlier, like this, the legs are wider. This one, the knees are closer together. After a number of breaths there, place the hands on the floor, take your jump back, and doing the other side from lying down again. Inhale, legs over the head, exhale there. See what you can do to take the toe. Again, many people struggle with this, and also rolling over the arm, because you have to roll over the arm. If you can, and if you really want to challenge yourself, you try and come up with a straight leg, and when it's in the air, you take it back. Inhale up. Exhale, take the leg back. Again, the detail here is that the knees are narrower than the last posture you did of this, where they're wider in Bharat Vajrasana. They're a lot narrower here in the end posture. And you stay in this and breathe for at least 5 breaths again. When finished, exhale, turn forward and release the hands. Cross the legs, take your jump back from there if you like, from the posture. And now we're on the last postures, the 7 headstands. Mukta Hasta Shirshasana and Baddha Hasta Shirshasana. Open and closed arm positions. The 3 open first. Mukta Hasta Shirshasana A, the tripod headstand. In some ways, easier to do than the primary series headstand. In other ways not, because you have to take a lot more weight through the neck. So you really have to be now strong in the neck and support yourself through your back muscles. Once you've taken a number of breaths here, you go to 90 degrees with the legs. Inhale and exhale, jump down. Upward dog inhale, downward exhale, and Sapta again. Ashto is into position, so you come from the position straight up into the headstand. So not changing in the air, but straight up into the headstand, Ashto. All of these are pretty tricky, so you might use a wall first of all. Pulling the hands apart helps to support you. Rolling the thighs internally, internal rotation of the thighs, also helps to draw the chest in. When you finish the posture, put the hands in tripod, halfway down with the legs, and Desha exhale. Yukadasha inhale, exhale. This one is a really hard one, so maybe again you could use the wall. Sapta. Try and get the arms as wide as you can. He doesn't really need this, but I'm just going to make sure. Again, internal rotation with the legs, pulling the front ribs in, trying to support your neck so you don't feel too much pressure in the neck. If you do feel a lot of pressure in the neck, then maybe consider modifying them or taking them out for a while until you build up that strength. Coming out of these positions by putting the hands in tripod, lowering the legs at halfway, and then Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog inhale, downward dog exhale. The bound positions, bound headstand positions. Baddha Hasta Shishasana, A, B, C, D. This one you know is the regular headstand position. Again, we're entering the postures from the full position and then jumping out of them all through the tripod position. Try to keep drawing the ribs in and lifting the shoulders. After a number of breaths here, hands go in the tripod again, halfway and then down. Upward dog inhale and exhale. Second one, B version. You can see the arm position is a crossed arm in front of the head. All of these are difficult to enter. When you finish, see if you can take the tripod again, halfway down with control, and Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog inhale, downward dog exhale. Sapta again. It's like a pincher position with the hands, but the head goes on the ground. This can really feel like you've got no space to lift from. You need to build up the flexibility through the shoulder blades to be able to complete that lift. But it could help your pincher. When you've finished, hands on the floor, tripod, halfway and down. Excellent. Last one. Try to take the hands with all the fingers together and place them on the back of the neck. Again, once you finish this, hands to the floor, tripod, halfway, and then you're done. Almost done, because of course you have to do the closing positions and Urdhva Dhanurasana. Sapta jump through, lie down. Ashto prepare. Nava Urdhva Dhanurasana. At least 3 times, and keep trying to push the thighs forward. Feel your toes, push down into your toes. Come down on the head and up again. And the last one. So 3 times rocking, exhale 1, exhale 2, exhale, and inhale 3. We'll do 3 drop backs from here. Inhale, exhale. Exhale back, inhale up. Exhale back, inhale up. Exhale, Inhale. Halfway 3 times. Cross your arms. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And all the way down. Here, this is where people take the feet, or help the students take the feet or the ankles, but I don't really do that much. And from there, sit down and Paschimottanasana. Jumping back. Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. The last 2 positions, the breath is longer. Ashto. See if you can catch your back. Pull the hands apart or the elbows apart so you really feel like you hold it across your back and not in your neck. If you feel there's pressure in the neck, perhaps consider using a blanket underneath the shoulders. And that will just give you space for the neck to come over the end of that blanket. All the following positions are part of the shoulder stand sequence. You hold them for 8 breaths because originally all the postures were held for at least 8 breaths, but the only ones that kept that 8 breath count were the closing sequence. Nava inhale, Halasana position. In this one, keep the hands open. And then the next one, the coming one, the hands then close as a fist. Desha inhale, Karnapadasana, the hands are closing, the knees towards the ears, the feet are together if possible. Exhale, the hands go to the back. Inhale, coming up. Exhale. Inhale again, Urdhva Padmasana, Ekadasha. If you can't do the lotus in the air, cross the legs and hold your legs in the air. Again, the breath is slower, the breath is longer. Pindasana, inhaling again. So all of these positions you enter from the inhale breath. Again, 8 or 10 breaths there, and on the exhale, the hands go to the floor, and you're rolling into Matsyasana. If you can take the feet, try and keep the arms straight. If you can't take the feet, just place the hands underneath the thighs so you can push with the elbows and lift the chest a bit. After at least 8 breaths here, Uttam Padasana on the inhale breath. See if you can get the hands and feet at the same height. As you push to the foot, the hands press together and you're trying to pull back the shoulder blades as you push through the feet. Again, traditionally the backwards roll comes here. Feel free to take it if you want, or sit up, cross the legs and jump back, which is what I prefer. So sitting up, cross the legs and take a jump back. Upward dog inhale, downward dog exhale. The Shirsha Asana position, the head position, not headstand, because you're trying to keep all the weight off the head in the arms. The head is resting, but it's not weight bearing. Inhale, Nava. See if you can spend a good amount of time in the headstand and shoulder stand, just to get a calm, cooling reaction through your nervous system to balance the heating, stimulating qualities of the Ashtanga practice. After some breaths, coming down to the half headstand. If you can, again you might need a wall first of all. See if you can stay here for roughly 10 breaths. And then coming up. And if you like, probably by a wall first of all. See if you can lift all the way off the head and look towards your navel. Careful on the coming down to get your balance again, all the way down, and keep the head down, rest. When you're ready, jumping back, ready for the last 3 postures. Sapta. Ashto Baddha Padmasana. Ashto Baddha Padmasana. And Nava Yoga Mudra, exhale. Once you can take the feet, see if you can touch the chin. But try not to tip off your bottom, so you're still trying to keep the sitting bones pulling back towards the floor. After 10 breaths there, sitting up for Padmasana. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If If you like to do Utplutahi, inhale. Again, you can breathe fast or you can breathe slow here. There's different opinions. After roughly 10 breaths, or longer if you're breathing very slow, jumping back. And coming to stand, we'll say the closing prayer together. Swasti pratibhya paripalyantam yo yena magena mihimmihishaha go brahmanebhyaha shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Samastiti. Ekam inhale. Dve exhale. Trini inhale. Chatwari exhale. Pancha inhale. Shat exhale. And Sapta, jump through, take rest. If you've completed the video, well done. Well done to Adna for getting through this. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you find it useful. That's us from Ananda Yoga Studio in Sarajevo. Thanks for watching.